Okay, well, if you built this on the console, on the PS4 or the Xbox or Windows 10, a Bedrock edition, you might be having trouble with your minecart not stopping and unloading when it gets to the center. And it's all to do with the delay in the ticks that's given out by a repeater. There's a repeater. We'll have a look at it in a second. There's a repeater in there that stops the minecart over the unloading station, which works perfectly well on the Java version, but on the Bedrock version it doesn't. Now, I came up with what I thought was a fix because I tried it on my PS4 and on my Xbox. You see, just there like that. On the Bedrock it doesn't do that. So I've tried it on my Windows 10 edition and PS4 and Xbox, and it worked. The fix worked every time, but I've had a few comments and a few tweets from people saying that it doesn't work on their Bedrock version. The minecart gets to the center, it unloads, and then it doesn't start again. Now, I've managed to replicate it on a different Xbox, so I do understand the problem, but I've not been able to come up with a 100% fix. Now, fortunately, thanks to the community, I've had a couple of suggestions. The latest one, and the one I think that is going to work the best, is from leRoadKill. So a big shout out to leRoadKill. Thank you for sending in a fix. And he suggested that I put a ring of hoppers around the center, which he's done on his version on the PS4, and he says it works fantastically well. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll do that now. See if I can do the fix now, and hopefully we'll get it working. Now, if you're worried about your villagers, we're going to have to dig all of this out, all of this center bit out. If you're worried about your villagers being stupid and falling in there, then you could always put a ring of blocks around you like this, and this is going to stop the villagers from getting to you, or getting to the center and falling down. As a rule, they won't fall down a hole, but you can never be too careful, can you? So once you've got that around, we need to get rid of all of this. Let's dig it all out. Okay, like that. And we're probably going to have to get rid of the minecart as well. We'll stick the minecart back in later. Now, all of these rails, again, all of this is going to come out because all of this has got to be replaced with hoppers. So get your favourite pick or whatever and dig out all of these rails. All got to go. Now, if you need your redstone, you can try and get it out. You don't need any of this redstone under here. But the more you can't get underneath, obviously, because it's only one block high. So the more you dig out, the more of these rails you have to dig out. Potentially, the more of the soil you have to dig out. So if you can leave all of that in there, and it's not going to do you any harm, but if you can leave it in there, you're probably best off leaving it in there. Okay, so once you've got rid of the rails, you need to get rid of these blocks that the rails were sat on. Fill in a few blocks down there if you want to. You are going to need this. This is still your unloader. This is still the system that spits the wheat or the beetroot and the seeds down the center. So you still need that. Okay, so you can't get rid of that. However, you are going to have to get rid of these redstone blocks, because these redstone blocks are going to power the hopper or hoppers that go around here, and it's going to stop them from working. So unfortunately, all those have got to go, and because they're going, you're going to have to get rid of all the powered rails that were there as well. So you need to take out the powered rails, and you need to take out these redstone blocks. Put standard rails back in again. And like that one, there's one there. Take out that one too. And and replace with standard rails. Now, I think I've come up with a system of where to put the powered rails that pretty much guarantees that your minecart is going to make it all the way around these non-powered rails, because it's quite a long way. And what you don't want to be doing is having the minecart, especially when it's full, the fuller the minecart, the slower it goes. So you don't want the minecart stopping on these unpowered rails. So what you need to do is find the long section, this long bit here that comes up to the center. All the rest, these rails go around it in like a big circle around the center of the farm, apart from this one here. This is the one that sort of starts the loop, so to speak. So you want to get to this one here, and then you want to pop out that rail. It's the last rail before that redstone. Okay, and then you need to put a solid block there. That's going to be your start and your finish. Okay, so your minecart's going to come up here, it's going to bounce off this block, it's going to go back again. Okay, now you need to put down your hoppers, and you're going to need, I think it's 15, I counted them, I think it's 15, and you need them all to funnel into that hopper there. Okay, so grab yourself some hoppers and chain them so they're all going into each other. You've got to be very careful here. You need to double check that all the nozzles are pointing into the hopper next to it. If you rush in and you accidentally do that and don't notice you've done that, it's going to break because that hopper's going nowhere. Okay, so make sure it's pointing into the hopper. Up you get. Okay, so now this is all going to funnel back round into the corner, wherever the corner was. There it is. And it's going to funnel into that hopper and then go straight down into there. Don't worry, it's not going to go round in a continuous loop. It'll get to here, and the priority is always taken by the hopper below another hopper. So as soon as it gets to that hopper, it's going to go down. So don't worry about it being in a continuous chain. So now we've got the hoppers in, we need to put the rails back in again. So you want to grab yourself some standard rails, and you want to get over to the block that you've just placed. Now this rail here, it comes down here and then it comes back this way and then back around the center to here. Okay, so we want to be starting at this rail here, and you need to put down a normal rail there, and then you want to put down 2 powered rails and then a normal rail. You're going to have to crouch when you're doing this, otherwise you're just going to access the inventory of the hopper. Then you need to put down 3 powered rails and a normal rail, another 3 powered rails and a normal rail, and another 3 powered rails. Sorry, another 4 powered rails. Sorry, you do need, the last rail definitely needs to be powered, otherwise it's not going to bounce off the block here and go on its return. Now we can't use redstone blocks, obviously, because that's going to power the hoppers underneath. So we're going to use torches, and to power these rails with torches, you just need to get to this corner. So there's your block that you've the stop block, the end block. You need to come to this corner here, pop out that corner block, and put yourself in a torch there. Okay, that's going to power those 2. And then you want to go around to the opposite corner, pop out that block, and power those 2 there. Now that will power the rails, but it's not going to power the hopper. So anything that goes into the hoppers now can hear the clicking. It's going to make its way round to the center, and it's going to get shot out. Fill that in before I get inundated with stuff coming from these farms. These farms are brilliant. So now the minecart is going to go all the way around. It's going to pick up the stuff. It's going to get to the center, and it's going to unload an item into every one of these hoppers. Okay, and because it's doing it forwards and backwards, that's 30 items it's going to get rid of. Now, if it does 30 items every time it does a circuit, that's going to be more than enough to unload the minecart. So you shouldn't have a problem now with items being left in the minecarts. And there are going to be times when the villagers are farming quicker than other times. There's going to be some times when, you know, there's going to be nothing in the minecart. So having these hoppers here, although it's a little bit more expensive as far as iron is concerned, it's obviously less expensive because of the redstone. But it's a system that will always unload your hopper minecart, and it won't allow your hopper minecart to stop working. So in that respect, it's a 100% fix. So again, thank you to leRoadKill for pointing this out to us, because it's fantastic. Okay, so now you've got all your rails back down again. You've got your hoppers and you've got your rails and you've got it all powered. Now you need to get out. So pop out that block that's above that bit of quartz, a stop block. You might need to just get up here and put in an extension, just a bit of a stopper there to stop those guys from walking in here while you're in here. Now you need to put your minecart, your hopper minecart, back on the rails again. So get yourself your hopper minecart, stick it there, and off it goes. Now if you want to check to make sure it makes it all the way round, this is the time to do it. You need to stand here just to make sure it goes all the way around, because the guys are going to still be farming. Okay, maybe they're not. Maybe they're desperate to get in here and sort this out. But there's going to be some crops knocking about. So the minecart's going to pick something up, and you'll be able to see whether or not it makes it all the way around to the centre. Okay, so here it comes, and it's made it all the way around and back again. Brilliant. So once you're happy with that, now it's time to start putting your dirt back in again. So grab yourself some dirt, and you need to do this before the minecart comes back. So you need to get a wiggle on. Okay. Obviously, I've used ploughed dirt, but if you'll have to use normal dirt and then just hoe it again. But once you've got the dirt back in again, you need to let these farmers back in, and they're going to go mental to get back in there again. Look at you boys, you're in like Flynn. Well, one of you is anyway. So if you're having trouble with the unloader on the Bedrock version, on the Xbox or the PS4 or Windows 10, then this is a fix suggested by leRoadKill. So thank you very much, leRoadKill, for that. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, everybody. If you have, please don't forget to leave it a like. And if you've really loved it, don't forget to subscribe for future tutorials. This is Fully Off, and I'm out of here.